sometimes you have paper pads that you just don't feel it. And you can donate them, you can give them away to friends. This one, I can't even tell you where I got it from. And there were papers in here. I thought, you know what, it's not so bad. I can use it for cards. But I didn't feel it. I just didn't feel it. This is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Albums, and I am part of a collab where we're going to smash our stash over the next 12 months. It was part of our Crafty Goals collab, but I mean, everything ended up being, let's see what we're going to use from our stash this month, so we just made it sort of a little more challenging. And you're invited to play along. So for February, it was to smash some 6x6 paper pads, and you probably still have time. I don't know what the criteria is for March. If you ask me, I'll link it, the list of the criteria. Anyhow, 6x6 paper pads, and I did smash 2. So this was sort of my stumper. I gave myself permission not to create a masterpiece with it. Like I said, I just didn't feel it. So part of my partners in this Crafty Goals collab have been doing these little cinch bound books, and I thought, you know what, that would be perfect for this. I had some ephemera. It's obviously, it's happy crafting, so some of the ephemera was crafting related, and I wanted it a little more general, so I pick and chose what would work for me. So I mean, they're pretty much the same. Let me show you one. Even though there's like dark blue on blue crafting elements, like I think if I look close, I see a hole punch and there's pencils and whatever, but you can't really see it because it's so dark. So I just took a strip of leftover paper. I took one of the frames from the ephemera back, put underneath some of the flower paper, and then there was a fantastic that was in the stash. I used my punch and just punched just a little scrap of paper. I guess it was from some strips that I had left over after I cut this down. And I just thought it was cute, just to add a little detail. Can't tell you how many of these half-size index cards. These were 4x6 index cards that are cut. By the way, my partners in this crafty collab, Letty from Party Planner Papery and Heather from Covered by Grace Creations, both have videos showing you how they do this. So check their channels for that. And everyone does them differently. I just have just a scrap of my cardstock, and I made a belly band, more blank paper. So these are great to stick in your car, to maybe write a note or keep in your purse, that kind of thing. I thought I rounded the corners on this one. No, this one I didn't. So I had been rounding some of the corners. I'll show you one that is. So see, the paper is pretty cute. I just didn't feel it. I mean, do I need to say more? Here's a couple of pieces of ephemera. I mean, this could be generic for anything. You could glue this onto here. And then again, I use my border punch to add a little detail to the inside. And I probably do mine a little differently. I would have gotten 4 little notebooks out of this, but when I was punching with my cinch, this came right at the edge of one of the other cover, and so I couldn't use it. So I have half a set left over. I'll find some other paper. But when I take my chipboard, and I just use lightweight chipboard. In this case, I used regular chipboard, but you could use, if you have cereal, I don't do cereal, but you could have cereal boxes. It doesn't have to be really heavy. And I round the corners, and then I cut it a little bit and glue it over, and then glue a piece that I've already rounded the corners to cover that. So I already round the corners on these. I think this one I rounded the corners on. I don't know. I guess it didn't make much of a difference because I didn't do it for the other ones. What do you think? Do you think it's worth the time and effort to round the corners? Because the covers are bigger. The covers are 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. If I do dividers, sometimes I will do 4 1/4 by 3 1/4 or 4 1/8 by 3 1/8. But because with this paper, it being 6 by 6, it was easier just to make it 4 by 3 so I could get 2 out of each paper. So yeah, there's that. I made a little folder with just a little tag in there. There were strips left over, so I used it to decorate. So, I mean, the paper's cute. I didn't embellish it a lot because I just didn't have that many embellishments that went. So I have this left over and enough to make another one. And, you know, I saved the leftover plastic. Like this was for the ephemera that came with the paper. So now I can just put this in here. And, oh, yeah. And it's packaged nice and pretty. And it's all done. So I made 3 mini cinch books out of one 6 by 6 paper pad and some ephemera. And see, now I have a piece of cardstock. See, I would double this up if I was going to use this to make a book. It's pretty flimsy. Anyhow, that is just a quick project share on using a 6 by 6 paper that you're just not feeling. So thanks so much for watching. Have a fabulous day.